So we have some information here on Donald Trump's transition team, and it's the polar opposite of what he promised it'd be. So he campaigned as an outsider who's against all the corruption in Washington. I'm anti-establishment. But listen to now who's on his team. So first of all, we have energy advisor Michael Catanzaro, or Catanzaro. He is a lobbyist for Koch Industries and the Walt Disney Company. That doesn't sound very anti-establishment to me, does it to you? Advisor Eric Ueland. He's a Senate Republican staffer who previously lobbied for Goldman Sachs. What happened? I thought Crooked Hillary and her connections to Goldman Sachs were the devil. Transition General Counsel William Palatucci, an attorney in New Jersey who represents Aetna, health insurance company, and Verizon. Oh boy. Microsoft's Ed Engel and Steve Hart, two lobbyists who've worked to promote the TPP. One of the main things he campaigned against. Now he's like, okay, can I have some lobbyists, please? Lobbyists in my administration to push for the TPP. Thanks, I'd really appreciate that. Also, we have the Financial Services Roundtable and the Investment Company Institute, two lobby groups that represent Wall Street, as well as the BGR Group, a lobby firm that represents Saudi Arabia. Again, this from the guy, Crooked Hillary, taking money from Saudi and doing favors, taking money from Qatar, tremendous, believe me. Bill Clinton, puppet to Qatar? Sad. Well, what happened, Don? Now, this in his 60 Minutes interview last night, too. This is the one good question that was asked. Like, hey, man, you know, you campaigned as an outsider, and you said you're against lobbyists and you hate them. And Trump, in the interview, was like, yeah, hate them. Terrible. Sad. Terrible. And the interviewer goes, well, Don, you just loaded up your transition team with almost all lobbyists. Almost all lobbyists. He's like, well, that's the only people there in Washington. Wait, but you said you're against it. You said you're going to fight against it. And now your argument is, well, what am I going to do? They're the only people I could hire. No, but the whole point of people electing you was that you said you were fucking against it. And he says, no, you know what I'll do? Well, we're hiring them now, but then eventually you phase it out. Phase it out? You're at the hiring page? Hiring stage, motherfucker. I mean, come on. This is the time where you go, oh, you know, I said I was against this, so now I'm going to bring in new people. Fuck the lobbyists. We're done with the lobbyists. I'm an outsider. So Mr. Anti-Establishment Outsider bent to the will of the establishment like that. But none of us should be surprised. See, I'm here to tell you, you've been had. You've been took. You've been bamboozled, led astray, run amok, to steal from Malcolm X. That's what happened. Because if you think President Obama, who ran as an outsider, if when Obama got in there, he was like, okay, great, now when can I do the bidding of the establishment? And that's a guy with a much stronger moral character than Donald fucking Trump. If he bent to the will of the establishment, you thought Donald Trump wasn't going to? A guy who had already flip-flopped and contradicted himself on every single policy under the sun? So, but now when he gets in there, no, I'm going to be principled and fight for the people. My ass cheeks, that's why you loaded your administration up with lobbyists. Because you said, oh, nobody's looking. All right, Goldman Sachs, Wall Street, get in here. Aetna, Verizon, all these people. Okay, yes, now we'll do special sweetheart deals for your people. Now, by the way, last point on this, Steve Bannon for chief strategist. Steve Bannon was the head of Breitbart. Breitbart, basically the home of the alt-right online. So basically made a nice little comfy safe haven for white nationalists. And this guy ran the site. And now he's fucking chief strategist for Donald Trump. Reince Priebus. Reince Priebus, the ultimate establishment insider. Chief of staff for Donald Trump. Yet again, Mr. Anti-Establishment Drain the Swamp guy just poured some swamp water right over his fucking head. Because that's what Reince Priebus is. Reince Priebus is the swamp. He is the deepest insider. So it was all campaign rhetoric. I just need everybody to understand that. And honestly, look, it's not just me saying it. It is the facts saying it. The people he hired. That's who they are. So open your eyes to what he really is.